everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. I'm here just with a quick unboxing. I placed this order to Vanness pens. Let's see, I'm looking at my order notes on June 4th. And this arrived today, June 7th. So that is like super quick. I was really surprised to see this already. After trying an ink sample from Donna at South Shore Paper, she was kind enough to send me several of her samples to try. I really liked the reddish color Laguna. I talked about that in a previous video because this is probably too loud. Let me stop talking. Hang on. There we go. I tried the Laguna from her, talked about it in a previous video, and I just loved the ink. So I've been trying really not to buy a whole lot of extra inks. I feel like I have enough, but there's some that I've bought that are not really being used. They're not my favorites, and you know, it's live and learn, but I kind of bought them on a whim, a little bit new to the pen world, and maybe should have taken my time a little bit more, but you know, when I find something I like, I jump into it and then go back and think about it later. So anyway, live and learn. But this is for fountain pen use. This is called Laguna 30 millimeter. I will swatch this later. I'll come back probably for the swatching, but I just wanted to show you how it's packaged. It's a nice little box, established in 2018, so a relatively new ink company. Glass bottle, St. John's 1605, so that's the saint word. I was trying to remember. I knew it was Saint something. St. John's Laguna, I think, is how it was listed on the website. Artisan made. Let's see what else we can find out about it. Not too much. Oh, here we go. Says that they're obsessively designed and meticulously mixed. Our inks are meant for fountain pen or calligraphy use. We promise that we use the finest ingredients to make the best ink we can. If you're not happy with your ink, you can message them and let them know why. And this is cool. We believe that education is one of the most important paths towards poverty alleviation. So for every bottle that you purchase, we'll donate 25. There's a P before it. Is that pesos? I don't know. Something that teach for the Philippines, whatever the Filipino money, our currency is, I guess. So that's kind of nice to have some of the money go towards that. And while I was looking at their website, I found two other inks that I wanted to try. Again, I've been on the quest for more green inks. So this Vinta, how would you say that? I don't know. Lati, anyway, that one. And Fortaleza, if you know how to pronounce these, I'm sure you're laughing at my pronunciation. This is kind of, ooh, look at the shimmer in that. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I don't know if you can tell. That's really pretty. I will probably use my dip pen or the feather calligraphy pen that was my daughter's. So this was a coppery one. I'll look it up and find out more before I do the next little segment to this video on the swatching. But I wanted to show the unboxing so you could see how it came. It's wrapped in paper. The vials and the ink were put in this bag to protect from any possible leakage. And we'll be back in just a little bit with the swatching. See you in a minute. Okay, I'm back. I have my ink opened up, and I just grabbed a little crafty paintbrush. Let's try that. Ooh, isn't that pretty? I think I swatched this when Donna sent me the sample, so I have a swatch of it, but not in like my little ink bottle stamps. So I think that's such a pretty rich red. I really like that. Oops, I don't know why I closed it because I need to use it. Let's see. Let's go back to, well, tell you what, let's just do this. Let me open that back up. And let's try the dip pen. This is a Moon Man dip pen I got off of Amazon. I think it's really pretty. It's my kind of colors. Fallish, I always summarize it as. I probably dipped way too much there. But anyway, let's write that down. So this is Venta. Whoa, that's super wet. Laguna. It's also St. John's. I'm not sure what to call it properly. This is 30 millimeter. And then they have a 1 ounce specification on that too. I don't want to tip this too much. What else do I write on there? That is super, like really wet, so it really gushed on there. That's one thing I liked about this Laguna ink though, was just how wet it was and how nice it was in the TWSBI. I'm going to blot it. It may smear a little bit, but I'm just primarily liking to record, well, that worked out okay, what I have. So I know now I have a bottle of this ink. And while we're here, I'm just wanting to point out this Iroshizuku Yamabudo. I can really see a golden sheen to that. Super pretty. My phone is looking like it's about ready to die. We're going to take another little break. I'll charge that and then we'll come back and swatch the 2 samples. But I don't want to spend the time doing this and then finding out it's not working. So back in a minute. Okay, I am back, but let me find my spot. My notebook got all messed up while I was on hold. So here we go. We have the Venta Laguna St. John's was part of that title. I had that swatched, and as you saw, I used my dip pen. By the way, I used the Ranger Archival ink to do the stamping because it's permanent and waterproof. So I figured when I put the ink on there, that keeps it from running. And then I also used this stamp set that I bought from an Etsy vendor, this Stamped and Sealed company. I got that several months ago, maybe even a year. I don't know if it's been that long, but a while back. Anyway, I don't know if they still have them, but that's where I found that if anybody's interested. So now I want to do a little swatching of the 2 new ink samples. The last batch I did was these 4 from my friend Donna at South Shore Paper. This is the one I'm using now. It's a super neat looking color there. Anyway, the writing though, we will see. We will see, we will see. I'm just getting used to it now. I have it in a couple pens, so I'm not sure. It seems like it's working well in one of my pens, but not as much in the other. So typically what I do is swatch with a Q-tip. Somebody I was watching recently did a paintbrush, and I'm wondering if that might be a better option so that you know, like it's not so saturated. Oop, this is the coppery one. And I forgot to look up the information. I will get back to that. Maybe mention it in the comments, in the description box, or I will plug that on at the end. But let's just go ahead and dip this. Ooh, that is beautiful. It's got all these little shimmery pieces in it, like little copper sparkly pieces, which is probably why it has that. Ooh, I love how that looks though. We'll have to test this out in a pen and see actually how it works with some of my regular pens before I buy a bottle. I'm learning my lesson, but my first impression of that is like it's super pretty. So this is the Vinta. Again, this pen writes super wetly. Whoopsie. Fortaleza. Nice. Let's, just for the fun of it, let me dip this feather pen in here. This is, like I said, a calligraphy pen that my daughter Brooke let me use. And I've had a lot of fun writing with this. As you can see, the line is much smaller, narrower, finer than writing with the dip pen. But that's kind of neat because it gives you a little bit of an idea of how it might vary from a fine nib to a super wet broad nib, which would be that one. That's wetter than any normal pen would write. I can see the shimmer in that. Oh my gosh, I like that a lot. I have a little package of baby wipes here that I like to use for a quick cleanup. So I'm just gonna do this. Let's go ahead and do the other one, and then I'll pause this and look up those inks and tell you more about them. I forgot to do that. I'm kind of in the process of making supper in between doing this, so I was a little distracted. It's got a nice sparkle to it, and I love the shading here of this color. Okay, and then this is this one. However you pronounce that, that's what this is. Let me gently shake that. These are really pretty inks. So far, so good. I know I love the Laguna, so it'll be fun to see if any of the other Vinta inks. I'm probably putting way too much on here still. Let's just spread that out a little. Like I just want to get out paper and play with my colors. Okay, Vinta Latte or Late or something. Again, super wet. I could probably not dip the pen quite so much and I would have a better result, but I wasn't really thinking that through very well. It's a pretty green, isn't it? How would I describe that? Definitely a warm-toned green, maybe even a golden green versus the blue green, like a yellowy green. Which, if I had to pick, that would be more my, if I had to narrow it down, is what I mean. If I only could have one kind of ink in green, it would be something in this shade. I like that. And by the way, the Vanness shipping was less than $5, $4.50 in my order. So I that didn't like bug me too much to spend that much. Let me see, I'm trying to find my subtotal. Okay, so the big bottle, this was $12.50 and the samples were $3.10. Maybe a little bit more expensive than some samples, but I was willing to do it. And so anyway, the total was $18.70, $4.50 shipping. It didn't seem too unreasonable to me. This I like a lot. I like that too. I like those both. This reminds me of Diamine Sepia, except that it's got the sparkle in it. And I'm going to try it in a regular pen to see how wet it is. I love the look of sepia, but in many of my pens I feel like it runs dry. If I could find something like that that's a wetter ink, or perfect my adding of the White Lightning to it, it might be okay. But that's like a pretty brown. It's a golden brown. Looks like it's got some nice shading, although this isn't totally dry yet, but it looks like there's a little bit of green shading in there, or maybe a shimmer would be a better word. This is super pretty, so we'll see. Anyway, let me pause this again and I will tell you more about these colors. Be right back. Okay, I looked them up. The Vinta Fortaleza one is an ochre and the Lati is sea kelp. So I think that is that helps with kind of seeing what the color is all about. I think I really am liking the little shimmer in this. So it's not the one I thought it was, but it still has a really fun little sparkle. Ooh, I like that. That's really neat. So we'll see how these work in the pens. I will probably empty out one of my pens that doesn't have as much ink in it and add one of these and just kind of incorporate that in to what I'm using this week. But there you go. So some Vinta inks, 3 different ones, a bottle and 2 samples. And I so far am really liking these inks. So we'll give it the pen test for a prolonged amount of time and see what we think about them after using them for a few days. This one is already a yes, but we'll test those out. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope to do some more. I have a book review still I want to do and show a few other things. We're still getting our kitchen remodeled. Supposed to be done a little bit ago, but as all kinds of construction projects or whatever remodeling, there's always glitches and setbacks. So I'm still washing dishes out on the deck or in the bathroom. That's been fun. A little bit of an adventure. I'm glad it's a summer, or at least summery weather. Anyhow, I guess I'm saying that because I have not been able to do as many videos as I have ideas for. I hope to correct that soon. Hope you're doing well, and we'll see you soon. Bye.